Welcome into the Upstate Pulse. My name is Lonzo on a beautiful Saturday night. It's a little nippy out there, but you know what? It's like November. It's supposed to be a little bit cold. So if you're one of those people complaining about the cold, then you're probably one of those people complaining about, it being too hot. And just stop, man. Look around, smile, find some joy in the fact that you're alive, and especially alive and listening to the Upstate Pulse. I'm going to go ahead and introduce everybody on the show tonight. T2.
Hi. Just me tonight.
It's not really. Just nobody else is in here yet.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when
they're here.
Yeah, they're here.
They're just not in here.
Yeah, they're just not in here. They'll be in here. You know what it is? It's star power. When you have star power, like all those guys, they can just show up when they want. They come in fashionably late.
Yeah. That's the right term.
Yeah,
right
and they are
fashionably late.
They are the height of fashion. If you look at the guys when they come in, you'll be like, man, could I be like him? No, you can't. You can't be like them because there's only one of each of them. And that would be, well, I'm not giving them any time until they actually get in the room. All right, here's what we're going to talk about today. We are going to be playing our next session of Radio D&D. By the way, I'll get into some more details about that, how you'll be able to watch it. Also, we're going to be picking wrestling here in the first segment once everyone's in here, because there is a wrestling event tonight that starts at 8 o'clock, and the loser will face the Nerf wall on December 17th.
Oh, you mean me?
Yeah, on December 17th. It wasn't you last time. It was Matthew.
It was not me.
It was Matthew last time. Brantley says it's cold. Yeah, it's cold, but it's not like cold.
No,
with a ton of
he said it's cold, yo.
Yeah. I didn't want to yo yet. It's too early. But yeah, it's cold, but it's not cold like New York cold right now.
It's never too early to yo.
10 feet of snow. You've got to pace yourself on your yos.
Yo, bro. It's not
you gotta
too
pace
early
yourself
to yo.
Because if you decide to yo-yo, well, then people are going to say, oh, this show's going to go up and down, and it's not. So I got to be careful with my yos.
I love yo-yos.
Me too. I could do around the world. I can walk the dog.
What was it? The Duncan ones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The best.
Man,
especially the ones that if you made them sleep, they would light up.
Yeah. Dude, I saw this guy today on, I think it was YouTube Shorts. Just like doing all these tricks with yo-yo. It was awesome. They're all Duncans.
You would think a toy like that was, I think, created in China. I believe, if I recall, like a long, long time ago.
When I was a kid, we did have a yo-yo phase, but that's the only phase I ever remember.
Well, yo-yos were the only toys that we could afford, I think. So, so there's that. Okay, we're also going to today. We're going to be talking about Black Panther, but we are going to spoil. We gave a review last week. This week we're going to spoil. Also, Science of the Impending Apocalypse. It has to do with sheep. If you haven't seen what I'm going to talk about, go to our Facebook page, the Upstate Pulse, and you'll see a picture of sheep, and you can watch the video of the sheep. It's weird. It really is weird. I'm talking some video games, nerd roundtable, a ton of things. But before I go any further, I want to talk about our sponsor, Borderlands Comics and Games, and what they have coming up next weekend. So they're doing their annual Black Friday sale, but it's going to be on more than just Black Friday. It's a 3-day sale. So it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. If you've ever been to one of these sales, there are great discounts on a ton of things. And they usually bring things from the back, and you go in and go, wow, I haven't seen this in the store before. Well, because you haven't, because it's been in the back, and they bring it out, and they usually have artists and a bunch of things going on. But the best part about it this year is they're in their new location, and at their new location on Pleasantburg Drive, it's 4 times the size of the old one. So if you ever went to the Black Friday sale and it was a little cramped, I mean, you're in there with some good people, but it's a little cramped. You're not going to have that problem at the new location because it is so big. So, and they also have more room to bring out stuff that you haven't seen before. So if you are a comic book fan or an action figure fan, or let's say you're into Dungeons and Dragons or Warhammer, or let's say you like manga, or let's say you like vintage video games, Pokemon cards. They got all that stuff.
Oh yeah, they do have a lot of Pokemon cards.
And at the new store, they have even more. They have so many things that I cannot name them all, but make sure I usually won't go out on Black Friday. This is the one place I will go on Black Friday. I will go to the Borderlands Comics and Games Black Friday sale because I know I'm not going to be pressured. I'm not going to worry about anyone want to fight me over that, $5 whatever that's on sale things, because everyone's cool there and all the people who go there are cool. So if you have someone in your life who is into any of those things, or if you have that kid that you don't quite understand, maybe you're a meathead, you're the meathead dad, you're only into sports and nothing else. You don't understand why your kid wants to read them comic books from another country. Well, you can help him out on Christmas, because you can go to Borderlands Comics and Games and pick him up some books, and he will be completely shocked, and the love you will feel from your son.
He will love that.
You haven't been able to connect with him because you just don't get it. Well, this will make him believe you do. So there you go. That's just a little help from us to you. So check that out. I'll make sure I remind you of that a little bit more later. While we're awaiting the other guys on the show, let me also tell you that, let's see, how many weeks is it until December 17th, Tim?
How many weeks until December 17th?
Yes, I'm asking you to count.
5 weeks.
Are you sure?
I think so, yeah.
We're going to go with 5 weeks. That means we are 5 weeks away from the Upstate Pulse annual Christmas karaoke special. And that means we're going to be singing. And we've got...
We're going to be singing.
We're going to be singing. It's going to be beautiful. And the cool part about this year
I'm going to be playing and singing.
Yes. We're being innovative again this year. We have an idea that we're going to try to do. And it's something that hasn't been done before on this radio station, maybe not even in the building. So that's what we do. We innovate. We come up with ideas. We talk to engineering and say, hey, can we do this? And usually engineering likes being challenged when it comes to something like this. And they're like, yeah, I think we can do this. And then they work on it. And sometimes they have to invent things like they did last year.
Oh, yeah, that was really cool, too.
Yeah, for the way that we're able to plug in guitars. And I will tell you, as of now, this could change. Chris Evans is supposed to be on the show. We haven't done a Christmas karaoke special without him. Why? Why am I so worried about it? First of all, he's cool, and he's one of the OGs, and he does a lot of voices and is pretty necessary for something like this. Also, Rob Brown from The Rob Brown Show is going to be on the show, because he and Tim played guitars last year. They're going to do that again this year.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of have a song in mind. I got to remember to send it to them and see if we can do it. Also, for the Christmas karaoke special, here's what happens. You will email us or text us. By the way, you can text us at 71307 right now if you want, or you can check us out live, which I forgot to tell you. We are live on Facebook at 106.3 WORD at the Upstate Pulse. Also on my personal Facebook page, Lonzo on Word. We are on YouTube at 106.3 WORD and at the Upstate Pulse. We are on Twitch at the Upstate Pulse, and we're on Twitter at Lonzo on Word. So check us out on video, and you will see open screens of no one there. Except for me and Tim.
Tim and Lonzo.
So what they're doing is they're in the other room setting up for Radio D&D. And Cameron is in transit, so he'll be here any minute now. And we scored a touchdown.
Oh, no.
Anyway, so so stay tuned for that. And if you have an idea of a song that you want us to try, like say you want let's say we only do secular songs, by the way. We don't want to do religious songs and make fun of them. So let's say you want to do Walking in a Winter Wonderland and you want Elvis and Daffy Duck to sing it. Well, we'll try to do Elvis and Daffy Duck. I don't know if anyone here can do a Daffy Duck. Can you do Daffy Duck?
I could work on it.
Yeah, I don't know. So if you suggested, hey, I want to hear Daffy Duck sing Walking in a Winter Wonderland, well then we'll give it a shot. So that's what we're doing on the 17th, and that will also be played on the 24th, also on Christmas Eve. So Cameron said he's been outside for 10 minutes, but I can't get him yet. So that's not his fault. All right. What we're going to do is we are going to take our first break. I promise we'll at least have one more person in the room when we get back. And we are going to, all right, we're going to talk. We're going to have two people in the room. Look out. Who knows? Maybe we'll have all five here. We're going to talk some All Out and Black Panther. You'll see Upstate Pulse right here on 106.3 WORD. Also, we're continuing live on all our social media, so check it out there. The fun never ends here on the Upstate Pulse.
Did you ever watch Peripheral?
Still haven't watched it yet, but I'm off, so I'm going to do that. Thank you, Matthew. I took a break so I could go get him, but Matthew didn't have his phone with him.
Oh, there he is on the text line.
Hey, Trey. Yeah, I saw that. It's been so out of all the top ranked teams, Ohio State, even though they struggled, I think are going to end up winning by more than everybody else did. More than Georgia, more than TCU.
Hey, I didn't have my phone on me. He was sitting out there for like 10 minutes. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I blame the host. What do you blame me for? I'm doing the show, dude.
All right, she'll be right back straight.
Wow. Come in and then he leaves.
Come in, just put your stuff down, just walk out.
You'll know when why is there another? Oh, you're doing it from in there. You have that in queue? Well, we can't hear you from in there, Rob. So we'll only be able to hear you when you're actually on. So when it's in utility, we won't be able to hear you in here. You'd actually have to be in here. I mean, we could probably hear you on the thing, but then we'd have to turn you up. Put channel 1 in queue. Is it 1 that we get the stream from?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there we go. All right, say something.
Check. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's garbled. You sound like
I can probably turn
you have a
down
Mr. Microphone.
Bit. Is this better?
Yeah, much better.
Yeah, but you're not talking like you talk.
I mean, I am in this room because I'm by myself and it's echoey. I'll just do the show from in here.
See, if you were doing that, then I'll bring Matthew in here. I mean, it's up to you. It's not going to be as fun in there. I
honestly was just popping in to make jokes about how I'm setting up for radio D&D.
Okay. All right.
I mean, I'll hang out for a second when you go back, but we've got like 2 more things to get set up. And I need Chris because all the rest of the stuff I need is in engineering.
Well, Chris probably won't be here till like near the end of the show.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, so.
I mean, I want everything else set up so that when it gets here, I can just plug stuff in and go.
Okay. No, Mark, I haven't seen Peripheral yet, but you know who has?
T2.
T2 has seen it, and I promise I'm going to get to it.
And I love it, by the way.
Hi, guys.
Hi, fellas.
How you doing?
What's everybody doing? While Rob's in that room, you'll have to bring up channel 1. Keep that in mind.
I wasn't feeling creative tonight, so that's my name today.
I don't know. I think you're asking for it, though. I don't know if I would have did that. With this crowd, I was talking about everyone in the room.
Some different kind of jokes might get inserted.
Yes, our listeners are high quality. So, Tim, after we get back on the air, will you find the Tennessee game, please? Oh, look at that. Look at that. That's purdy. That is purdy. So I guess you're the and. Take it out of the queue, please. Welcome back into the Upstate Pulse. Lonzo here, along with T2, and then the later guys, the fashionably late guys, the true stars of the show have shown up. They're all here, starting with the guy whose voice we're all the most jealous of. The pipes that should not come out of this individual. That would be Matthew Causey.
'Tis I am here.
He is here. He is here. Also, show contributor Cameron, who has been here, but he's been out in the parking lot because he doesn't really work here. So
I was helping set up Radio D&D, and he was texting me saying, "Hey, can you let me in?" I didn't have my phone on me.
I also sent a whole bunch of poop emojis.
He
I was
did.
going to start making fun of Mob Psycho and just really go for the
I
heart there.
would have been very offended.
You would have been.
How dare you?
I was starting.
and
There's a paragraph ready and loaded.
experimentally, Rob Brown is joining us from the D&D room.
Experience.
Yes, I am also here. I'm very happy to be here alongside Matthew Causey. It makes me feel good to know that, we have the two sexiest voices in radio.
Oh,
Hello,
yes, of
everyone.
course.
Please, you can't. I mean,
Thank you, Star-Lord.
There's no comparison. Yeah, he did just go Star-Lord.
Is he mocking me?
Yes.
I really
All
just
right.
popped in for a minute, mainly because I got this super dope background that I wanted to
Yes,
put
yes,
up.
yes.
And
It is super dope.
So,
Pretty cool.
so since everyone's here for the moment, Rob will be in here eventually. We are going to be playing a radio Dungeons and Dragons after the show. So we'll probably be on around 9:30 and it will be broadcast live on Facebook and YouTube and Twitch. So we will give you all the exact deets.
I have,
Doesn't even
a,
sound like
I have a
fun.
question real quick.
Yes. Yes, you in the back.
Radio D&D or Ray D&D-O?
All right. When someone raises their hand and you go to them and you're like, man, why did I go to that guy?
Yeah.
That's super valid. There's a D right there in the middle of radio. Now it's Ray D&D-O.
It's
You
too
just
forced,
made
though.
it one
It
word.
All
I
right,
feel
I'm
like
just
that sells
It's not natural.
t-shirts.
We just lost 3 viewers
No,
because of you,
I
Rob.
just got to
I'm
say,
trying to move merch over here.
yeah, here's the thing. Rob is on that side of the building and he's using that side of the building kind of humor. That's
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You mean the good kind?
no, the money's over here, dude.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the money's over here.
Yes, Lonzo. As you and I very well know, the money definitely sits on our side of the hall. Correct.
Yes, it does. It absolutely does. All right. So since everyone's here, like I said, we're going to be playing that later. So look for that. If you've never watched anyone play Dungeons and Dragons before and you're curious about it and you maybe want to get into it, or you just want to see us be completely goofy and stupid, even more so than what we are now, then make sure you tune in. And,
It's an exponential rate of stupid.
Here's the real reason why you need to tune in to hear Matthew's voice. The vegan orc.
Yes.
It's just it's
Garrick,
yes.
the vegan orc.
Garrick the vegan orc. It's
Is he really
amazing.
vegan?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
he
that's
is,
right. That's
remember?
right. Yeah, I
Dude,
do remember.
You were like there and stuff.
You
It
were
was-
literally right
yeah,
next
well,
to
I
me.
think I had too much of my own. feed.
I would like to point out that Tim just rolled a -2 perception for our last week's session.
Oh, okay.
So
Well,
the normal.
bro.
I
All right.
don't even know what that means.
exactly.
You've got high charisma, not a lot of wisdom, though.
All right. So really quick before Rob jumps off of there, although he can jump off if he wants because he's already made these picks. But I will just AEW Full Gear happens tonight at 8:00. And so what we do here is we make picks for wrestling pay-per-views or premium live events, depending on which company it is. And the loser has to face the Nerf wall for 30 seconds during a commercial. And you may say, it's not that big of a deal. And it depends on what guns are being used against you. So, and the velocity and the accuracy and there are a lot of things that can make it more painful. Like when Rob Young from Borderlands Comics and Games shows up with his rotary gun, his Jesse Ventura rotary gun.
That thing is pretty sick.
Yeah,
Though.
yeah.
No
Am I
Nerf
the-
gun should have a freaking engine in it.
Well, it shouldn't.
That one does, and it deserves it.
Am I the only one that's been shot by that?
No, I've been shot.
Did you
by
get
it.
shot by that
Yeah.
too? Okay, so just
I was
me
going to
and
say
Tim.
T2 lost by a roll of the dice. It was very unfortunate.
Well, Rob Brown has not lost yet. Let's
Yes.
Correct. Rob
Let's
Brown
put that out
remains
there.
undefeated.
And people want to see that. Matt, you know who else hasn't lost?
Who?
Cameron.
Oh yeah, well he has.
Why
Yeah.
would you put that evil on?
All right. He lost, and I faced a wall for him.
He did.
Yeah, I think it
He
was.
sacrificed
I
himself.
I
couldn't
lost
be
last
there.
time, but I lost in the best possible way
You did.
by getting the first in history to get every single pick wrong 100%.
It's
It
hard
was
to
a perfect loss.
it's hard to go
It's a
over.
perfect
It
loss.
really is. It's hard to go over.
I'm
but
legendary like that.
Matthew did
Completely
it.
negative.
All right, let's
He's
get
the most interesting man in the world.
let's get into these picks really quick. We're not going to go into great detail because we've got a bunch of other stuff I want to get into. All right, let's start with Darby Allin and Sting versus Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. I will tell you that myself and Rob Brown went with Darby Allin and Sting. Cameron, who you got?
You know,
Darby Allin and Sting versus Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal.
I think I'm going to go with Darby Allin and Sting.
Wow. Way to go out on a limb. All right, Tim.
Darby Allin and Sting.
Oh, I can see what's going to happen now, which is why I won't tell you what we picked. Matthew,
Yeah, I was planning on doing the same.
I thought you would be.
I
Okay.
was going to do it.
Those were the
regardless,
first
though.
ones you said, and those were the only names I remembered.
Okay, there we
So
go.
that's the one I'm
All
going with.
right.
Is this the same Sting from like back in the day?
Yes. it
Yeah.
is.
Okay.
Yes. And he needs to retire.
That's the only reason I picked it.
No. He needs to retire. There are petitions on the air, online asking him to please retire because he's doing
Lonzo
some
out
good-
here trying to kill people's dreams.
No,
All
I'm
that
not. No.
negativity.
He had a great career. He had several comebacks. I don't want Sting to die. He needs to stop. He just does.
He's to retire.
Hey, listen, when you're my age or older and he's older than me, stop. Just stop doing it.
Yeah, but the difference is, Lonzo, Sting doesn't complain about his knee hurting when it's too humid outside.
You don't know. You ain't there. You ain't with him. You don't
yeah,
know.
you're not in his
You don't
body.
roll with Sting.
All right. Well, he might. Sting has commented on my Twitter before because, you know,
And
I
look
got
at
it
you
like
being
that.
negative about it.
yeah, I know. Well, no, I'm concerned for him. There's some other wrestlers I don't care. They should go till they're 90 and keep jumping off the sides of
Yeah, wrestlers are like Spartans. They come back on their shields.
Hey, there you go.
They apparently do. All right, the next match is Saraya versus Britt Baker. Britt Baker, DMD, friend of the Rob Brown Show, by the way. One of our favorite interviews of all time. She's an excellent interview. Going up against Saraya, who used to be Paige in the WWE. Let's go with Matthew first. Who you want, Saraya or Britt Baker?
I like Britt Baker because I like the alliteration.
There we go. Look at you. All right, Tim.
That's, by the way, that's Dr. Britt Baker. Please put some respect on the name.
I didn't say doctor. If she heard me, well,
She would
I-
no longer be a friend of the show, and we
No,
can't have that.
I apologize. She's actually a dentist and practices dentistry.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh wow.
Yes. All right, Tim.
Oh,
Britt
what-
Baker or Saraya?
Saraya.
All right,
That's
Cameron.
It's a cool name.
I'm actually going to go with Saraya.
All right. The next match is a steel cage match. Matthew, Tim, do you know what a steel cage match is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, listen. There is every possible. There's someone out there listening right now. Goes, is it still in a cage? I don't know how that works. That's what a steel cage
Is that
a-
man an
A
optometrist?
steel cage, possibly.
I
Yes,
feel like
yes,
steel
on that.
cage is one of the things that most non-wrestling fans would know of with wrestling.
Thank you, Matthew. Yeah, I agree, but there's someone out there who has no idea what I'm talking about. Texas at 71307 if you don't know what steel cage is, just to make me feel better. All right, it's Jungle Boy versus Luchasaurus. Cameron, who you got?
Wait, the Lucha guys are against each other now?
They are, thanks to Christian Cage, yes.
I would. Think
I
that
am
Lucha's-
also sad. I am also sad about it.
Oh, all right. So I
He
had to let
said,
that.
"Oh,
I had to let that
Well,
loss settle in.
By the way, in that
Um,
last match, I picked Britt Baker to win and Rob picked Saraya. So, all right, go ahead. Cameron, Jungle Boy or Luchasaurus?
I'm gonna go with Luchasaurus. I feel like it's gonna be an obvious one and it's gonna fail.
All right,
You know.
Matthew.
Luchasaurus is just too cool of a name not to pick them.
Oh, you should look him up. He is really cool. All right, Tim.
Jungle Boy."
All right.
You would pick Jungle Boy.
Well, that's because
well,
I did pick Jungle Boy.
You know who else picked Jungle Boy?
Thank you, Drax.
Rob and I picked Jungle Boy.
Oh, boy.
All right. So, all right. The next match is an AEW Trios Tag Team Championship match. That means there's 3 guys on the team. Listen, I know. I feel the need to say trio means 3. I'm not talking down to, that one guy. It's the same guy I didn't know a steel cage was a steel cage. I'm talking to him. I think we blocked them last week.
Did they
or
have a
Tim did.
quartet?
It's that guy.
Do they have a quartet belt?
Not yet,
Okay.
but AEW will probably come up with one. All right, so steel cage match. Oh no, AEW TNT. No. Where am I at?
It should come out with faction belts.
Yeah, the trios match is. Where did that go? It's.
You You've lost control of the show.
No, I have not. I'm just looking at it wrong. I can't read anymore. All right, it's
We
Death
all
Triangle.
believe in you, Lonzo, but you're letting us down right now.
All right, it's Death Triangle versus the Elite. The Elite were suspended for a while because of a backstage skirmish, a fracas, a brouhaha.
A hullabaloo?
No, it didn't go that far.
Oh, okay.
As far as we know. All right, so it's Death Triangle versus the Elite. Matthew, who you got?
I'll go with the Elite.
All right, Tim.
Did you say Death Triangle?
Yes.
I'm going with
Of course
that one.
you are. Of course you are. All right, Cameron.
Are they isosceles? Are they obtuse? Are they acute? What kind of
Oh,
triangle?
they're very obtuse. That's why they were suspended.
Well, no, he's talking about the Elite. He's asking about
I know.
Death
I was just trying to make a geometry trick there. I apologize for my efforts. I'll be turning my mic off now. See you guys at 9.
All right, fine. Bye. Go away. So Death Triangle has Pac in it, formerly Neville from WWE.
I'm gonna go with Death Triangle.
All right. I'm not trying to
Because
influence.
it's
I'm just
also a
telling you.
great name
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
And I'm
So,
a sucker for geometry.
so I will tell you that Rob went with Death Triangle. I went with the Elite. All right. TBS Championship match between Jade Cargill and Nyla Rose. Tim, who you got?
Nyla Rose.
Matthew.
Nyla Rose is the only name I remembered you said.
All right. It's Jade Cargill or Nyla Rose.
I'll go with Jade Cargo.
Close enough. All right. Cameron.
Could you repeat the name?
Jade Cargill.
Oh, Jade Cargo.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll go with Jade. Let's do that.
Okay.
Jade's
All
are
right.
cool flowers.
All right. Mark on the stream says Sting is 63. Yeah, stop it, Sting. All right. TNT championship match between Wardlow, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Samoa Joe. Cameron.
I think I'm gonna go with Samoa Joe because I always like Samoa Joe.
All right, Tim.
All right. What were the first two?
Powerhouse Hobbs, Wardlow, or Samoa Joe.
Powerhouse Hobbs.
All right. And finally, Matthew.
I like Joe.
Okay. All right.
They have a chant.
Rob went with Wardlow. I went with Powerhouse Hobbs. All right. Let's
They're looking pretty good.
see. We're almost done here. World Championship match for the ROH belt. Chris Jericho versus Bryan Danielson versus Sammy Guevara versus Claudio Castagnoli. Claudio Castagnoli used to be Cesaro.
Ah.
Cameron.
So what nationality did he become?
The one he is. Switzerland. He's from Switzerland.
Okay. I'm just curious. God, that's
All right, come on, guys. I want to hurry this along. 'cause,
let's list it one more time.
Jericho, Danielson, Guevara, or Castagnoli.
You know what? Let's go with Castagnoli.
Okay. All right, Tim.
Jericho.
You would go for the Rocker and he didn't even know it. All right, Matthew.
just felt it.
The G one.
The G1.
We're all in.
Guevara.
Yeah,
Okay.
Guevara.
All right. So you're going with the Spanish God. All right. Good choice. All right. Interim AEW Women's World Championship between Toni Storm and Jamie Hayter. Matthew.
I'll go with Storm.
All right. Tim.
Jamie.
Cameron.
I'll go with Storm.
All right. AEW Tag Team Championship match, The Acclaimed versus Swerve in Our Glory.
Swerve in Our Glory.
Yes.
I'll go with that one.
All right. Matthew.
Swerve.
The Acclaimed.
All right. And Cameron.
I think I'm going to go with the Swerve. Go with the Swerve.
Okay. All right. And let's see. AEW World Championship Eliminator match. Ethan Page versus Brian Cage versus Ricky Starks. Cameron.
Ricky Starks.
All right. Tim.
You said Ryan Page?
Ethan Page.
Ethan Page.
Okay.
Okay, I'll go with that one.
All right. Matthew.
Starks.
Okay. And finally, and this has nothing to do with The Rock, Jon Moxley versus MJF for the World Championship. I will tell you that. I didn't tell you with all the other ones because you guys can go back and watch the Rob Brown show to find out what we picked. Rob and I both picked MJF. So MJF or Jon Moxley. Cameron, who you got?
Oh God, that's hard. Who's currently the champion?
Moxley.
Then I'll go with MJF.
All right, Tim.
MJF.
And Matthew.
I'm gonna go into peer pressure and follow suit.
Okay. which is why I didn't say who we picked for the rest of. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to get into some stuff, including we're going to break down Black Panther 2, this time with criticism and with spoilers. You're listening to the Upstate Pulse right here on 106.3 WORD.
I had some sour candies I was going to bring in from taste test, but I completely forgot them.
That's okay.
Did you watch Black Panther now?
No, he still didn't.
Oh, you still haven't? Oh, okay.
That's in theater still, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It came out last week.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go try to figure out why these cameras aren't working. I'll check back in.
Okay. Yeah, because I want you in on this if you can.
Yeah, I'll come right back as soon as I get this working.
Okay, cool.
Also, I like the fact that Rob looks like a reporter on the scene.
He does.
That.
Herb Welch.
Oklahoma. He would
Let's
be,
cut back to Herb Welch.
He would be Herb Welch.
Of course.
Let's see. Mark says Elite will win trio titles starting in epic trios. Not seen since the Von Erichs and Freebirds. MJF takes the title with help from the firm. Plus, he's way over with the fans. Here's the thing I said on the Rob Brown show during Lonzo's Fight Club, Mark. I think, and I've read some other people say it after I said it, I'd like to say I said it first, that Regal turns on the Blackpool Combat Club and helps MJF win. That's what I think is going to happen, which would be kind of cool, actually, because they don't really need him. Let's see. The Ocho wins the ROH title. I hope so. I like that he's trying to put Dishonor on the Ring of Honor belt. I think that's a good angle for him. Hey, did you find that game for me?
Dishonor on you.
Tennessee.
Dishonor on your
I got
cow.
it. Never mind. Never mind.
The cow.
You want me to use the force?
You could. Can you use the force?
You might
Hey, do
electrocute it.
you have the text line up?
I do.
Okay.
We got one.
Okay.
It was a good
A
Obi-Wan.
lot of people are watching the South Carolina game, so don't expect a whole lot.
Very Allen.
I agree, Mark. I don't believe that MJF is turning
That's the
face.
one I was going for.
Yeah. And you succeeded.
Where is it? Can't find it.
By the way, we finished this dungeon that we were working on for the past couple months.
Yeah.
The final room had like 2 ballistas pointed inwards. The guys hadn't seen us yet. And in one surprise round, one of our guys had killed one of the ballista guys by pulling him down with like a chain hook thing.
Nice.
Our psycho goblin artificer immediately jumped on the ballista and started using it.
Psycho Goblin Artificer.
Our warlock used a spear of lightning, destroyed the other ballista. I'll tell more about it after this.
Welcome back into the Upstate Pulse. We've got a couple rooms full. All right, we got one room. Well, there's only one person in the other room, but that room is full. That would be Matthew. It's a full room. So Rob Brown.
Very small room.
It is. It would have to be for it to be full with
We're
Matthew.
talking
in it.
percentages.
Yes. All right. So last week, Black Panther came out, and Black Panther 2, and hopefully Rob will join us again here in a second. And it was good, but there was something missing from it. And we're going to spoil a little bit now because we're believing that most of you have seen the movie by now. And I think the writing was not that good. And I've read some other people talk about this online, how they're afraid to say anything bad about it. because I don't know if they're worried about, being canceled or whatever, but they're afraid to say anything bad about
Well,
it.
because the thing has a shield about it because it's kind of a memorial for Chadwick Boseman.
Which the parts about Chadwick Boseman are great.
Yeah.
They really
yeah.
are. And it's hard to have a movie like this with a lot of humor and a lot of, uplifting things, but at the same time, what the guy stood for on and off the camera, that should help uplift it. It's the parts in between that I have a problem with. And I talked about this a little bit last week, and I know I'm going to get some disagreement, but Shuri is my favorite character that's not a superhero. Every time she was on the screen, she would brighten up the screen. She would make everything happy. And she was just, I couldn't wait to see her as Black Panther. And Rob and I have talked about this over on the Rob Brown show. And he pointed out, when someone dies, you don't know how you're going to react. With a lot of people, they get angry afterwards. And that's what Shuri did. And I don't see someone like that making such a 180-degree turn as far as who she is. And that just, it really bothered me. And even when she came back from it to a degree, she didn't come back all the way. And yes, I do get that a death in the family can cause scars that last for a lifetime.
Yeah, try to.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
But the other thing I think is if her character stays like that, then I think they're doing it wrong. If she's only like this for this movie, and she has, and there are other parts in the movie where she's making jokes and stuff. She's still not all there.
But it's not her kind
I know. And I agree with Rob's assessment of grief can do different things to people. And in this case, it really brought her down because it's hard to get over that. And she gets over it at the very end of the movie in the end credits.
Yeah, but
that's
it's
it.
Still, I know what you're saying, but she's still not her.
I know.
She's still not her. And when people go through grief, they still have a part of themselves, even though it's not entirely the same. There's still a part of you. Some of the better parts are there when you come out of the other side of the grief. And maybe there wasn't enough of the movie to show that because it's still pretty quick afterwards when she makes a trip to Haiti. So Matthew, what do you think about what I'm saying?
I kind of agree more with Cameron on this. I thought that it was very understandable. People have different reactions to losses in the family. And in her case, she lashed out about it. She blamed herself, and that only created a cycle of lashing out as a result of that.
She's also the younger kid, too.
Exactly. Yeah. And having all of this responsibility, she feels foisted upon her is only going to make that worse. And the fact that she came out of it the way that she did at the end, I think made perfect sense. Maybe there was a little much in certain aspects, a little more murderous than I would have expected. But otherwise, no, I completely understand most of the writing behind how she came out.
Well, and the other thing is, if Namor's people wanted to wipe Wakanda out, they could have. I mean, they could have done that early. And I also have a problem with Riri because Riri, they've erased the backstory that is what made her special. The fact that she was Tony Stark's protege. Why take that out? Because you have a chance to link, one of the most beloved characters of all time with Tony Stark and Riri, who's going to be taking the role.
Even something as simple as, I was part of the Stark internship, and I ended up getting into the school.
Yeah, I don't understand why you had to take that away.
It doesn't take any agency away from the character. It also gives her a reason why she built an Iron Man suit.
Yeah, I understand how
sudden,
difficult it can be to put her as Tony Stark's protege when he's dead now and she's never been established before. But yeah, I would agree that just throwing in that she was in an internship with Stark Industries in the past, and that's where some of her experience comes from.
I hate to interrupt, but during the blip, I mean, there were 5 years in there.
Yep.
Remember?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
He was alive for that. That's true.
Yeah. He was alive. He could have trained a lot of people during those 5 years.
Exactly. There could be a lot of people with a lot of different links to it.
And how does it hurt her origin having that link?
When it's faithful to it, if you do it that way.
Because that's what it is in the comic books. And she was if I recall from everything I've read, his successor in the comic books. So why not make her his successor in the movies and the upcoming TV show?
Maybe they felt like Spider-Man was too much of that, but
who?
I'm not talking about Peter Parker. I'm talking about Spider-Man. You don't know who Peter Parker is.
Okay. I've heard tell of this person, but I'm not quite sure who they are. So overall, again, if you haven't seen the movie, well, we spoiled the crap out of it right now.
Multiverse.
Yeah. But if you haven't seen it, go see it. It's a good movie, but you're not going to come out of it with that feeling that you do. And it's been a while. I mean, since you come out of a Marvel movie with that feeling. I mean, you have that feeling with a couple of the Spider-Mans, not the last one. You don't have that feeling coming out of that. When's the last Marvel movie that you come out of it going, yeah, it was Endgame?
Endgame.
Well, the other thing is everything else has been somber.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. And this has been the DC is too dark, DC is too somber.
What?
When that's all Marvel has been the last 2 or 3, even Doctor Strange, all those have that. I mean,
oh boy, get ready for Quantumania, because I'm sure that's not
I mean, they've went the direction that the people who think you got to pick one side or the other have been complaining about. They've went that direction and no one's saying anything.
Well,
I've seen a lot of hate over Marvel in the past few years over Phase 4, and just people are not happy with it. It has not been a good series of films and shows to a lot of people.
All right, we need to take a break. When we come back, we will finish up the hour and get into hour number 2, where we try to squeeze a ton of stuff in. Listen to the Upstate Pulse right here on 106.3 WORD. Really, it's 2? Sure? Yeah, you are. This is from what?
Sorry. I was in the wrong spot.
So to finish up that story, there's a priest in the
I'm
middle.
sorry, I was in the wrong spot.
Okay, don't scare me like that. Hey, Keith.
Who was spreading these
we can
spores that were causing
Yeah.
children not to be able to sleep.
Now that I know we don't have 2,
And
Yeah.
so once we,
I'm just looking at the
Number one
shot
release
that's
this
up on the
from
screen
the-
right now.
I did Maximilian's Earthen Grasp on the priest and just held him in place. And it's like oriented him towards Drumstick and the ballista, and he shot him.
Oh my god.
Just held him up. to
Oh
get
my
shot.
gosh, dude.
Yeah.
It
Hey,
worked
thanks
so
for
well.
the updated pictures for the posters,
It
Keith.
didn't
Matthew, if I
appreciate
had
that.
known he wasn't going to be in here, you could have come in here. But if
Yeah.
as soon as you come in here, then he'll come in here. So
Oh,
he
yeah.
said 9:00. Wait a minute, 9:00.
Yeah.
So he's not coming in here at all?
I guess not.
What all is he doing?
I kind of
Not
built the
setting up anything else anymore. We finished everything we pretty much
I
did.
kind of built the show partly around him. But that's fine.
We can talk about Pokemon.
We could talk
going-
about the
What about the game
Pokemans.
that I'm playing during our breaks?
We're going to.
I
We're going to in hour number 2. It's in there.
was just making a joke.
So anyway, we ended up beating the mess out of all the mercenaries. Were easy to kill. Like we
Yeah.
one shot it all.
Hey, I don't have it up yet, but he's got it and we're working on some stuff with it. And I can't afford to have it turned into a poster yet. but I will eventually.
Finished reading what he was reading from the book, and became a myconid. Like all of his flesh just like burned off. He turned into a giant mushroom man,
Nice.
and then proceeded to beat the mess out of a lot of us.
How much time do we have when we get back?
And we somehow killed him.
2
Good job.
minutes.
It's just like everybody's just like tired.
yeah, about a minute.
and just- it was
I
bad.
bet.
When we come
I
back,
lost
when we have a
all-
minute?
all my
You're not
spell
even listening to
slots.
me.
Everything was used.
Oh, what do you mean?
I even started.
When we
borrowing
come
weapons
back,
from
how much
people
time will we have left in the hour?
Oh.
Because I
We'll have like
I
9
a
minutes.
familiar.
Okay.
So I just had my owl just take daggers and just dive bomb them onto people.
All right. So I wanted Rob to be able to talk about this, but he's not in here. So forget him. Come back with oops.
We could send our fastest runner for him.
Who's our fastest runner?
Matthew
No,
knows.
No.
You said?
Yes. Oops.
It's not me.
Yes. I already knew that. Thank you, though.
Look, I get that I'm essentially Jason Voorhees, but
I don't know.
I don't know.
So Sue says Tim's the fastest runner. Is he? I don't know. Not
we could always test the
no,
theory.
not today. He'll run side to side down the hallway. He will.
Let's hear a thump. He'll
Yeah,
like run
like,
into a wall or
I
something.
tried
I
really
can-
hard, and you
If
know,
I can ride a skateboard, then I can definitely run in a straight line.
I don't.
How's your knees?
I don't think today you can run in a straight line because you're sleepy.
Actually, my knees, I'm good if I don't fall on them. If I fall on them, I'm out for like 2 weeks. Okay. Barely walk.
What bear is Keith talking about?
I don't know, but don't bring him in here.
Is he the ring bear? Never mind. That was a How I Met Your Mother reference. I gotta stop with those because none of you get that.
Yeah, it's one of those shows that you think everybody has watched every single episode and has them memorized, but it's only you and your sister have.
Look, there are other.
Well, no,
friends of ours.
Rob has too, but he's not in here, so it doesn't work.
Also, several of them.
I know it was a Tim compliment, Sue. I'm just playing around with Tim.
Yeah.
Just playing around with Tim.
We don't like to give him reaffirmance.
If we went by wind
Affirmation.
resistance, Matthew would be the fastest person in the room.
Wind resistance.
Just my aerodynamic standards.
Of course, of course.
All right. It is time for our oops of the week. These are usually criminals who do stupid things. In this case, something criminal is being done to someone. And 3 of the 4 of us in this room have been on stage. Rob Brown is still in a band, but Rob is in the other room and isn't in here because he's still setting things up. And I don't know why. He's just slow. At a concert the other day, someone threw a Skittle and hit Harry Styles in the eye.
Ooh.
So the question is, Matthew, do you know who Harry Styles is?
I'm aware of who
That
Harry
is
Styles
awesome.
is. Yes.
Yeah, but this is not the worst thing that's ever happened to him. Apparently, people are throwing stuff at Harry Styles while he's on stage, and
How
I
dare
don't.
they?
No, man, you shouldn't throw anything at anyone while they're on
Oh, I
stage.
agree.
Yeah,
I
you
agree.
should not. But they didn't know what hit them, but some people in the crowd said they were Skittles. I mean, if you go get hit with something in the eye, a Skittle is not what you want to get
No.
hit with.
Yeah,
Oh,
that would-
gosh, no.
Yeah,
That would be
Ugh.
awful.
Those things are pretty solid.
And not to mention, what if you stepped to one and slipped?
All right, so
Could
after
How are you gonna slip on a Skittle?
You're on
you could slip-
stage.
you could definitely
You're
slip on
on
a Skittle.
stage.
Definitely.
Anything could happen.
Yeah, and
No,
those
you
guys.
squish Skittles. They don't.
Usually the
No,
worst
no,
things that
no.
happen on stage.
It's like slipping on marbles, man. If there are enough Skittles up there, you're gonna fall on
If
them.
there's
Oh,
several
yeah.
Skittles, sure. But if
Yeah.
it's just one.
Well, they threw more than one. Only one of them hit him in the eye, as far as we know. Skittles had a reply on Twitter, by the way, because Skittles didn't want to, replying to a recent tweet in which the candy maker wrote, "Didn't think I needed to say this. Please don't throw Skittles." That's what Skittles said. Skittles tweeted. And
Good advice.
yes. And then another referred to the candy as public enemy number 1, to which Skittles replied, "I had nothing to do with that incident." So it's good to whoever's running these Skittles account is in there.
We at Skittles would like to plead the fifth.
All right. So last month, there's a viral video, and I got to watch this. I don't know why, but I got to watch it. Appeared to show Styles getting hit in the groin with a bottle that was thrown at the stage during a concert at the United Center in Chicago.
Oh, come on, man. That's
Stop.
messed up.
Styles immediately showed signs of discomfort, wincing, before saying into the microphone, "Now that's unfortunate."
What?
God.
That's the best thing you could come up with?
So my dude got hit in the groin on stage with a bottle and said, "That's unfortunate."
He's British. I mean,
Yeah.
he's not gonna play it up
That's
too much.
unfortunate. Like, no.
That
no.
sounds funny to me, honestly.
Okay. In August, fans at Styles' Love on Tour stop in New York City turned the former boy bander into a chicken nugget target.
Oh god.
Chicken nugget.
So Harry Styles has been hit with chicken nuggets. He's been hit with a bottle in the groin, and he's been hit by Skittles. So the question is, if you were on stage, text line 71307, and you had to be hit by something on stage, here are your 3 choices: a Skittle, a chicken nugget, or a bottle. And I'm guessing the bottle was a glass
Can
bottle.
we pick body pillows in our own image?
No, you can't do that. Although those are probably really, really comfortable.
That's Probably
Yes.
more on the weird end of things.
So huggable.
I don't think I can
Um,
say what I was gonna say.
Yeah, probably not. If
Yeah.
you have to take pause,
Although it's
on-
happened.
Yeah, well, still. So Tim has been on stage, Cameron and I have been on stage, and of course, like I said, Rob has been on stage. Matthew, have you been on stage?
I've been on stages before. Yeah.
Okay, doing what? I'm just
Opera.
asking.
Performed.
It was opera
Not
singing.
a lot of performance related stuff, but I've been on stages for, I was performance wise, probably like a talent show in elementary school I was on.
Okay.
Outside of that, it's normally, I've been on stages for different announcements or things or for tech related things. I've been around stage production stuff with my reporting and stuff like that before. So I've been around that. But
Yeah,
I haven't been up performing.
I was gonna say, as far as reporting goes, all you gotta do is duck shoes. So I mean, that's all you gotta worry about there. So I'm thinking I'd rather be hit with a chicken nugget. I think that out of those three, a chicken nugget's probably gonna hurt the least.
Yeah, and you can see
Unless-
that coming.
unless the chicken nugget's cold. Like
Yeah,
a
if it's a-
McDonald's chicken nugget that's cold, it hardens a little bit.
Oh yeah.
I would pick the chicken nugget as well, unless the Skittle does not have to hit
What-
me in the eye. If the
what
Skittle
was-
has to hit me in the eye, that's a big no on
Yeah.
that.
Sue, by the way, says I pick nuggets with honey mustard on the side. Yeah, because that's gonna soften up a little.
You're gonna try to
the-
catch them.
No,
Yeah,
I
and catch them in your
wouldn't
mouth.
want the sauce on it
Ooh,
because that's
have
just
a
going to
honey
make a
mustard
mess.
hoop.
Yeah.
You're not just like getting it thrown at you. You're specifically getting hit by it. I don't want to get hit by something with sauce and stuff on
You
there.
don't want to get covered by honey mustard on
No,
stage?
that's disgusting, and it's going to be a mess. I'm gonna have to clean that out. That's gonna be a stain.
All right, so I don't get, just like there are a lot of things that I worry about when you read about them that it will become a trend at concerts. I guess Harry Styles is a guy you're going to throw stuff at because you don't think he's going to do anything back to you.
I think they also threw stuff at Kid Cudi too.
Did they?
And they've thrown
They've
stuff
thrown
at,
stuff at like all kinds of different.
Yeah, I
artists.
mean, you're not
It
doing
is a trend. I
you're
think.
not doing that at a Kiss
They
concert.
threw stuff at Nickelback, and Nickelback
All
like
right.
left
Oh, they
because
just
they're
left.
Nickelback.
They just left because they're Nickelback.
Yeah.
You're not doing that at a metal concert. You're not because those guys, and you're not
Did
doing
you
that.
just classify Nickelback as metal?
No,
I hope
I
not.
moved on from that.
Okay, I
and
was about to
Nickelback
say.
is not as bad as people
This is a
think.
separate issue.
Anyway, so at a metal concert, you're not doing it. At a hardcore rap, you're not doing it. I don't know if who you said
That
is
has
hardcore or
happened
not.
at hardcore rap shows. It's happened to Kanye West. It's
I
happened to
mean,
a bunch of
he-
different artists.
I don't
Like
know.
they'll throw like water bottles, shoes at them.
Yeah, I'm not worried about Kanye coming off the stage. I'm just
Kanye will
not.
give you a whole lecture
Well, yeah, and
before.
I'd rather get hit with something than be lectured any day.
Yeah.
I just
Oh.
yeah. Our boss here, he doesn't yell, he lectures. And it's long. And if you have to have a seat, you don't want to be in there. And you end up confessing things that you never thought you would say. just thinking if I tell him I did one more thing, maybe he'll let me out of here.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
The office is just a confessional.
Oh, it is. It
I'm
is.
not mad. I'm just
And
disappointed.
You got to do
Oh.
the,
No,
the
no,
whole
no,
cross
no.
thing
See,
before you go in.
I don't know if you've been in trouble before, Matthew. You might have, because obviously I have and probably deserved it. But it's one of those, he doesn't say anything. He just sits there.
Yeah, he lets you say it.
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
lets you say it.
Yeah, that's I don't want
No, I
that.
don't. I've never been in that situation.
Yeah,
with them.
well, hopefully you won't be, because you don't want to be.
Stick around this crowd and we'll see how long that
I-
stays.
I will take the bullet for you if we get in that situation, so you don't have to endure it, because I've been in there before and I can take it. All right, we are going to take our top of the hour break. When we come back, we got a ton of things to get to. We do. We've got a ton of things. Hopefully Rob will join us at some point. If he doesn't, then maybe when Chris gets here, he'll come in here. I don't know. We don't need them. We don't need them. Actually, we don't. What are you doing, man?
It's a news. It's a news. I'm sorry.
That's on you. That's on you.
What
you
just happened?
You got to watch the clock.
I wasn't watching the clock.
He wasn't watching the clock. I can't see the clock.
You just so
Also,
happened
I
to
loved
go
how-
out, though at like right at like the 50 and the 50.
So the ID did not play.
No.
All right, make sure you play it before the intro or before the commercials play. So put it before the before the commercials. And you owe me one. You know what?
Oh, I got it in here already. Oh, where is Oh, there it is. I found it. I wasn't watching the clock.
What are you doing, man?
Conversation.
What is wrong with you? All right,
I'm
have
not mad. I'm just disappointed.
yeah, as am I. You know, maybe it was ill timing or good timing because maybe the boss was listening. Maybe you can have one of those talks.
Probably will. I had it about the Burns game on was it Saturday?
Don't confess on StreamYard.
Oh yeah, I did.
These are the perks or the drawbacks to being live all the time.
I did mess up.
Well, you know, that's so 5 minutes ago. I made 2 mistakes in a row Friday. I never do that.
1, 2, 3, 4.
That's not cocky. I just never do that.
I'm not in a position to make a mistake.
I was mad at myself for the rest of the day.
I mean, you're live on air. You can 100% make a mistake.
It depends on how much of this voice gets out.
Yeah, that could definitely get me in the office.
So let's talk about Pappy.
Why?
He's gone too far. I'm a free range Pappy. I do what I feel like.
What's that mean anyway? Free range.
Free range.
I don't want to know what a free range pappy is. I don't.
Hey,
What's a free range chicken? It's
like
still
no
a chicken.
fencing or anything, right?
You're still gonna.
They're not cooped up. I need to look this up actually.
Yeah. Wow. My chicken was able to roam around freely. I still got it at Popeyes or Chick-fil-A or Bojangles.
It had a good
somewhere.
life before I ate it.
Yes. Yes. The best of life. And then he left.
Kept in natural conditions with freedom of movement.
Hey, you're free. You're not. You're free. You're not
Congratulations,
really.
you have the illusion of freedom.
Yes. So what's worse? The illusion of freedom or knowing that you're caged?
Well, if we're talking about chickens, then I'd say free range because they're dumb.
They're not dumb. They just have limited brain capacity.
Don't make excuses. for
Chickens could be, there could be a very smart chicken.
What was that one like claymation? Chicken Run?
Robot chicken?
Chicken Run.
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. The movie Chicken Run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're talking about Chicken Run. That's not a thing.
No. You wear a disguise to look like human guys, but you're not a man. You're a chicken boo. That's who I'm talking about.
I just want to jump in for that last.
That chicken's very smart.
Yes, that chicken.
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. Keith's got a point. Foghorn Leghorn. Well, smartish. Because that dog always got the better of him.
Smart enough to run for office.
That's true. He is the governor of South Carolina. I say, boy.
I can't even remotely attempt a Foghorn Leghorn voice.
Did you do something, or was that?
I accidentally clicked.
That wasn't what I thought.
What are you
you
doing,
were
man?
Making the face
I thought it
for,
was-
but it's good to know that now.
Someone joining the show, but I guess not.
I could drag him.
No, I just won't play.
There it is.
I still can't believe South Carolina's winning this game.
Where are they playing?
Tennessee.
Is Tennessee any good right now, or?
He just called a play, and it was this. Spencer Rattler just did this on his helmet. That's all right. I also had a scientific argument built around someone being in here, and he's not going to be in here.
You know,
No, it's
I'm
just,
something of a scientist myself.
yeah, but you'll be on my side with this, and it just
What is it?
it doesn't matter. I'm gonna scrap the whole thing and go with something totally different.
Let's just talk about video games.
Yeah, we'll just talk about video games.
Video games?
Yeah.
I like video games.
I also like the video games.
I
I
won't
was just wanna
make
go, I
the
missed
same
him. He's
mistake
looking at me
I'm a
twice.
gamer myself.
Says the guy who's playing his Switch right now.
Literally playing my Switch right now.
By the way, there are no hubs for Switch Lite. I researched it thoroughly. There's some that supposedly, oh yeah, get this on Amazon, and you go there and it's not really for. Oh my gosh, look at him go. That little dude is flying. Welcome into hour number 2 of the Upstate Pulse. Lonzo here, along with T2 and Cameron and Matthew, having a blast on a Saturday night. I want to remind you, by the way, about our sponsor, Borderlands Comics and Games, and what they have coming up for Black Friday. It is the Borderlands Comics and Games Black Friday sale, but they've decided to make it 3 days. So you need to go check it out. So if you have someone in your life who's into comics, who's into retro video games, who's into action figures, who's into D&D, who's into Warhammer, who's into manga, who's into just about anything pop culture, maybe they like pop figures, maybe there's just so many things.
There's even like just regular old board games in there too. Like a very wide variety of them.
So normally in the old store, it was cozy, but it was pretty crowded because everyone was trying to get in there. And by the way, there are percentages off of books and all that kind of stuff. When it's a sale, it's a sale. So they mean to move some merchandise, and you need to buy that merchandise that you're trying to move because it's good stuff. So what they do is they also bring out a bunch of things from the back that you don't normally get to see in the store. Now, in this case, the new store is 4 times bigger than the old store, and they're still bringing stuff out for the sale. So you need to check that out. It is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And chances are you will see 3 or 4 of the people from this room in there at some point buying some stuff. I have one of the OGs from here, Chris Evans. I've seen him come out of there with like an arm full of board games. I mean, to where he couldn't see over top of them when he bought the games there. And it's a lot of fun. And if you haven't checked out the new store, now you can, and you can enjoy the sale, and you can buy some gifts for people in your life that are into the pop culture, the nerdy stuff, the that sort of thing. And as I pointed out in hour number 1, maybe you are a parent who listens to WORD all the time, and you've heard me here for 23 years, and you're like, okay, Lonzo's on, I'm listening to him, because I've had people tell me that they listen to the show even though they have no clue what's going on half the time, because we don't talk politics and all the things that you're talking about during the week. We're just having a good time.
Is it because we're funny?
That can't be it.
No,
I don't think that's
that would require us to be funny.
Only by accident. But they stay tuned in. And I've had people say, hey, my son is into this. My daughter's into this. I don't get it. Well, that's fine. Go to Borderlands and you can say, hey, my son really likes this One Piece manga. I don't know what it is. Do you have it? Yes, they do. And they can show you where it is. And the best part about it is you go in, you ask them. They're nice. They're friendly. They'll show you where it is, and it'll be on sale. There's nothing better than on sale.
Nothing
Absolutely
better.
nothing's
So you
better
need to
than
check that out. The Borderlands Comics and Games Black Friday sale goes on all weekend, starting on Black Friday. It's clever, isn't it? I know it is. All right. Let's get to a Wall of Weird segment. I've been watching a podcast that has Michael Rosenbaum, and it's basically got Lex Luthor and it's got Superman on it. And they're going back and they're reviewing all Smallville episodes. And I heard in the hallway Tim trying to shame someone who had never seen Smallville, and I'm guessing he might be in the other room. I'm just guessing. Yeah, I knew it.
Somebody save him.
But one of the things that they showed while I was watching one of the episodes was Chloe introducing the Wall of Weird, and we talk about that a bunch here. So weird stories. One of which I'm still going to get to, even if someone else isn't in here eventually. But this is one that, all right, so different countries are trying to find a way to save money energy-wise, and it may be because of supposed climate change and all that other stuff. Tokyo's governor has a solution to high energy bills. You guys want to know what it is? The governor of Tokyo has shared with residents a surefire way to cut down on energy consumption this winter. All right, Tim, if you want to cut down on energy consumption, what would you do?
Kerosene heater.
All right, Cameron, what would you do?
Oh, personally,
Yes.
more blankets.
All right, I would ask Matthew, but he's going to say, I read the story.
I actually haven't. I did not look at today's outline.
All right, so what would you do, Matthew?
I would assume it's turn off your stuff when you're not using it.
Yeah, that would be a good assumption, but that's not what he wants you to do. He wants you to wear turtlenecks.
Turtle.
Yes, he wants you to wear turtlenecks. That's right.
I mean, I get it.
Yeah. So Yuriko Koike is so committed to the idea that she's ordered, it's a she, my bad. She's ordered all government workers to start wearing turtlenecks every day so they'll set an example for residents. Koike's big turtleneck push comes amid rising energy costs due to supply issues. Their warm and overall energy consumption is reduced, the governor says of turtlenecks. So we can link it to the lowering of CO2 emissions. I knew it had to do with climate change. So supposed climate change, you too can help the earth
Bro, you won't catch me in
by wearing a turtleneck.
You will not catch me in a turtleneck.
I think I could rock a turtleneck.
No, you can't because you don't have one. Neither do I.
I do too have a neck.
It's just huge. Like my neck is huge.
It'll be a very pronounced turtleneck.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thanks to the Marion Franklin wrestling
I think
team.
I have a turtleneck.
No one's surprised. I bet you could rock the turtleneck though.
I look good in sweaters and stuff like that.
Oh, so he
Yeah.
can rock a turtleneck, but I can't.
Yeah, but we can't. No, you can't. You can't.
I have enough of a neck to do so.
I love you, my child, but no, a turtleneck is not for
There-
you.
all right,
Oh my
so there-
god.
there's
This
a
reminds me of
minimum-
Master of Disguise.
There's a minimum
Am I not
amount
turtly
of
enough for your turtle club?
Turtle.
look. There's a minimum threshold of neck for this. I at least hit the minimum.
If you have to fold over the turtleneck 3 times, you don't have enough neck.
How big of a turtleneck are you gonna get?
Have you? All right, I can tell you that I never bought you a turtleneck.
Oh my God.
Because
Would-
I would never do that to you,
Cameron,
and I wouldn't let your mom do it either.
You
So I
have-
don't think you've
I'd at
ever
least
worn a
wanna try it.
turtleneck.
Cameron,
I'd
you
at least
have
like
to
to
wear a
try it once.
turtleneck next week.
Look, I've
Like
seen,
wear a turtleneck.
He'd have to
Here's
go
the
buy
thing.
one.
Here's
Yeah.
the thing. I've seen one of my friends wear it, and I thought it looked good. So I was just like, I wonder what I would look like in a turtleneck.
So was it like a green turtleneck with like a black
No, it was
sweater
like
over
no,
it?
it was
or-
like the Michael Keaton like black turtleneck.
you would look like a German henchman. So no, no.
Maybe I am.
You should not. You should not wear.
What
What would
you
you?
have to see the boss?
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
Get in the house.
Yes. No. So by the way, if you're cold in your home right now and you're looking for a solution
Also, you
because
want
of
the
the high
thing.
energy prices and you've got the air turned down or up, whatever it means to make it where you're not using the heat as much. Well, here's how you solve it. Don't buy a Snuggie. Don't use more blankets. Get yourself a turtleneck.
Dude, I love Snuggies, man.
It's all the rage in Tokyo.
The Snuggies get too warm though. I mean,
They do,
There's
but-
got to be an in between. I also got a Sherpa blanket, and those are just like they're really warm, and then they get too warm. There's got to be an in between.
Here's
in
the
there.
thing: you build resistance to the cold. Take ice baths.
No, don't. I did
Don't
thi-
be a sissy. Build
Yeah.
up resistance.
Yeah,
No.
yeah,
Definitely do not do that.
yeah. I took
You'll
ice.
end up
ba-
with hypothermia.
I took ice baths when I had to walk to school. Okay, I'm never doing that again. All right, you owe me something.
I do, and I have it. It's right here.
All right,
I was
there we
waiting
go.
for him to hit the
There
wrong
we go.
button.
Oh, there it is.
There we go. All right, we're gonna take a break. When we come back, we're gonna get to signs of the impending apocalypse, and we're gonna talk some video games. You listen to the Upstate Pulse right here on 106.3 WORD, continuing live on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook.
I know I set myself up. German henchman, man. Well, no, I would just get it and just dance like.
what do you mean by that?
What?
That was just a joke.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Elizabeth,
got
I
lost for a
meant what
second.
I said. You will not catch me in a turtleneck.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go. I'm not.
Welcome to the turtleneck
I'm
show.
sorry, but nope.
I
Not
once
doing
had
it.
to buy khakis for a photo shoot. I was not happy about it because I
wasn't
don't
that
wear
long ago.
khakis.
As the guy sitting next to him is wearing khakis.
Yeah, well, that's not
All
me.
I wear is khaki.
Yeah, that's fine. That's
Hello,
fine. You guys
Jake
can be
from State
khakis. guys.
Farm.
I'm trying to make a point here. I went out and bought them because
You
I
are?
was required to for a photo shoot. unless we're required to buy turtlenecks, I am not buying a turtleneck. Although I've always had this dream for the Christmas karaoke special of all of us dressing alike and doing like a family photo so we could send it out to
From our family to yours.
yeah, as a promotion with, holding some mugs or something with some nice hot cocoa.
All right.
But I can never make it happen. I think it'll be cool.
We should do this.
We got to do the 80s pose where everyone's like kind of in together and looking different directions. Or something.
I'd like to also add something. So Pappy would be in this photo, correct? Or would it be me?
I don't know. It's two different people.
It is two different people. We can't be in the same spot because he and I have beef.
Yeah, but we got Photoshop.
Wait, you guys have
But
beef?
we could do Photoshop
Oh,
and
yeah.
make it look intentionally bad.
All I was gonna say is
It's supposed to look bad. It's supposed to look corny. It's
Well,
supposed to look cheesy.
now since you have beef,
Happy
you have
would-
to have a rap battle.
Pappy. Oh, that would be fun, actually.
Yo, we can record that. It'd be so fun.
They the only time they've shared the stage together is for the Upstate Pulse Movie Awards.
There was a lot of low blows,
Yes.
just consecutive low blows. There was no punches to the face or anything.
Come back with signs of the impending apocalypse, and then yes, and then have video games ready.
I know this one.
I was gonna say the Nerf shotgun should come into play at some point.
And don't fade it so fast. Fade it slower. You got this, man. You got like a minute to find it.
Charlie likes when I do them fast.
Yeah, well, I'm not Charlie.
I know. It's just hard to.
Even if you're fading, if you fade too fast, it sounds bad. I mean, you can fade quickly without fading fast.
Yeah.
Really, Keith? Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
I'm not wearing a turtleneck.
Let's do it, guys. Come on.
I'm
not doing
absolutely down for it. That sounds hilarious.
Let's do it. We'll have the turtleneck show. We've done dumber things.
I'll come dressed up as a turtle before I wear a turtleneck.
That would work.
That also works. That would still follow the bit.
It's still
See,
subscribed.
now I'm
to
trying
having
to think. There was
turtleneck.
a
I
famous
haven't worn a turtleneck
famous
since
band
my
in the
mom dressed
60s
me
that
up in a
wore
turtleneck, and I was
turtlenecks.
like,
Was it the Zombies or was it?
Sorry, you don't have to have fun.
I think it was the Zombies. Maybe they all wore turtlenecks.
By
Or
the way,
somebody.
what I would do is just dance like Baron Zemo because that's what he was wearing.
Exactly. Yes.
Just get up and just go.
While he does that, I will do. This is the part of Sprockets where we decide to dance. You like to touch my monkey?
No.
My only friend, the end.
Game over, man. Game over. What are we gonna do? That's great. It starts with an earthquake, birds and snakes. And
All right, time for signs of the impending apocalypse. Again, when we do this, I do this in honor of the late great Russ Castle, who used to do this, and he went with signs everywhere. There's signs, that song, because I remember I had to find it for him. And I always loved that segment because he always came up with really, really weird stuff. And today's is about sheep. And if you go to our Facebook page, the Upstate Pulse, there is a story posted there about a massive flock of sheep that have been walking in a circle for 12 days straight in China. So there's video. These sheep are just walking in a circle. It's a perfect circle, by the way.
Yeah.
As if they're walking around a barrier of some sort. And they've been walking that way for 12 days. Why is this a sign of the impending apocalypse? It's game over. Like REM says in the song, this is a sign. Either they're saying land here, aliens.
I actually don't believe it.
You don't believe what?
I believe because
Have you watched the video?
yeah, I've seen it.
Okay.
I've seen it.
All right. So what do you not believe? You don't believe the real sheep?
I
Or you
know.
don't believe it's a
No, I believe it's real sheep.
circle? What do you,
I believe it's a real circle. I believe it's real sheep. But sheep are herd animals. So somebody could have herded them to walk in a circle.
I know who's responsible.
and just was like, "Oh yeah, look at this. This is weird. Let me get views on Facebook."
All right. According to the sheep owner, a few sheep started walking in a circle before others joined in. The cause of the erratic behavior has yet to be determined. They've been on the move since November 4th. It's unclear whether they stopped to eat or drink. Some have speculated the sheep's behavior could be caused by a bacterial disease called listeriosis, also known as circling disease.
So like maybe like one or two got it. And
Initially
they're just hurting.
affected animals are anorectic. I don't know what that means. Do you, Matthew? Anorectic?
I don't actually
I know
what
what
that means.
anorexic is, but I don't know what anorectic.
Maybe they're
Depressed.
related.
Depressed and disoriented. How can you be disoriented and walk in a perfect circle?
Oh, and here's another thing. They're saying it was like for like 12 days.
Oh, it.
But if they're
no, wait.
walking in a circle for 12 days, when do they eat? When do they
That's
sleep?
what it just said in the article. Are you not listening?
Wait, what did it say?
It said they're not sure when they eat and sleep. They may propel themselves into corners, lean against stationary objects, or circle toward the affected side, according to the Merck manual.
Apparently, it does actually refer to anorexia. It means it's just an adjective for,
Oh,
for
okay.
it. Yeah, relating to, characterized by, or suffering from anorexia.
Doesn't sound official when he reads it, though. I should have had him read the article. Outbreaks typically occur as a result of spoiled or low-quality silage, S-I-L-A-G-E. I'm going to go with silage.
Slops.
Yeah.
Probably silage.
Yeah. According to the Merck manual, in sheep and goats, however, death usually occurs within 24 to 48 hours of symptoms being observed, which is why they don't believe that's what this is, because when a sheep does this, they usually die. And these have supposedly been doing this for like a week or 2 weeks.
It's Bo Peep.
It could be. It
It's
could be,
my old nemesis, Bo Peep.
it could be the ghost of Bo Peep.
She's raising an army of sheep.
That'd be a scary arm. Yeah, but they have like square teeth.
Well,
I mean,
how do we
hurts?
how do we know
I've
they've
watched
been circling
entire-
for 12 days?
All right, see, here's why I'm disappointed that Rob didn't come in here, because I was looking forward to debating with the two non-believers in everything. There's got to be a logical explanation. Maybe there isn't. You know, sometimes there are things that cannot be explained at all.
I was giving you a logical
Yeah, but
explanation.
I'm asking a logical question. How do we know that they were actually walking around for 12 days?
Because they say they have. And here's
They
another
have
way.
a camera
Here's-
pointed
yeah,
where they are.
do have a camera. And the other thing is,
Recording constantly.
when the news comes, yes, and when the news
So we
comes
can look
out
at
to
this
check it,
live right now.
I don't know, probably.
You could probably ask
Why are
the
you saying
owners.
we can? You're sitting
I'm
over there
I'm
and
about
you,
to look.
and you have the capabilities of doing it.
I'm looking right now. All right. What is it? Sheep in Mongolia, right?
See, these are the arguments that take the fun out of the show to a certain degree.
Why?
because I'm willing to believe in the supernatural. I'm willing to believe
I do believe in the
in
supernatural.
I don't.
Bigfoot. I'm willing to believe in Chupacabra. I'm willing to believe in aliens. I'm willing to believe that AI will take over the world someday. And I'm willing to believe all that stuff. You know why? Because no one can prove to me that it won't happen. And willing to believe is also a matter of faith. And I have faith in a lot of things. And I know that there are things that I can't explain. And I don't need science to give me all the details, because a lot of times those scientists have no idea. So they used to happen all the time here. When I would ask a certain engineer, what's going on, he would start using all these big words, all these engineering words. And I looked at him, it's like, you have no idea what it is, right? And he laughed and it's like, nope. And
Yeah,
that works
you
with
fluffed, you
just
fluffed to buy
because-
time.
it works with a lot of people. You try to go
Hold on a
above
second.
their, hold on, I'll let you talk. You go above their edge, what you believe their educational level is, and use all the big words and things, thinking, here, I'm going to explain all this. Is not at you, by the way, Tim. And you think you're explaining everything, and you're not really.
Okay, but like just because I don't believe in the sheep walking in a circle doesn't mean I don't believe in the supernatural, which I believe in the supernatural.
Right. So see, that's the thing. That makes it. If you can believe in
but I
that,
believe
if you
it
believe in
if
that,
it's-
why
it-
can't you believe in this?
I believe it if it has plausible evidence.
I believe the sheep are walking in a circle because
They
I saw it.
are walking in a circle.
they're walking in a
I never
circle.
denied that they were.
What does that mean? I don't know.
You guys are busy debating what
Y'all
caused it.
debated turtlenecks.
We were
Oh,
debating.
there was no debate about turtlenecks.
We were discussing.
Yes, there was no debate. We all know we look bad in turtlenecks.
Well,
Look,
yes,
we can
yes.
pull it off.
Um,
Dadgummit, we would look
okay.
sexy in anything.
So the sheep are walking in a circle. Nobody's denying that, and they are walking around maybe something. I don't know.
I think they're
But,
just walking in a circle.
There's something there because there's just like this big white thing in the center. of
There's
it.
nothing there. There-
Okay. But
There
either
was
way,
another sheep.
either way, I never said that none of those things were true. All I said is, are they still doing it?
I don't know, but at the time they were.
At the time they were, yes, they could have been herded that way.
There was nobody out there.
Yeah, and there's no way you can keep a sheep walking in a circle for
Well,
that many
I'm not
days.
a sheep farmer, but I mean, there could be a
Do
way.
you know any sheep farmers?
No, but my dad farmed sheep when he was a kid. and
Okay.
that's how I knew that they were herding animals. So that has to have something to do with it.
Keith says they're playing a bad round of Duck Duck Goose. Yeah, where no one
Oh,
gets
yeah.
caught.
Duck,
Because-
duck, goose.
Yeah, I'm gonna catch you eventually, and they just keep running. They keep
sheep,
ru-
sheep, wolf.
Yeah, they forgot that they're supposed to stop. That's how Duck Duck Goose works, and so no one stopped. It's one of those weird phenomena, just like crop circles, which are explained by a lot of different things. Some crop circles,
Some
are,
of them are.
some are not. It's the same sort of thing. I personally think this is a sign of the end of the world. So
It
I
could
mean,
be.
there you
It
go.
could be.
Because the Bible says signs and wonders, and this would be considered either a sign or a wonder.
It could
Because
be.
if it can't be
But
explained,
there's other things like skyquakes and stuff.
yeah. But if it can't be explained, and see, here's how there will be some who will not. Oh yeah, that's two. You go ahead.
Uh-huh.
There'll be some, and this is one I know because I do that all the time when I'm over there.
Oh, I got an idea. All right. So 3 noobs in a night equals a turtleneck.
No, because I'm not wearing one.
Come on.
That's a good one. That is a good
I
one.
like it.
Yeah,
Hey, I stop at turtlenecks. Okay, I'm not wearing a turtleneck.
all right. I gotta say, even though I think it would be funny, I will not ask someone to wear a turtleneck. I'm not going to do that. I'm just not. And if you are into turtlenecks and you look good in turtlenecks, I'm not being critical of you. It's just not for us. Okay.
You're speaking for half of the team of Upstate Pulse.
Well, yeah, I know because Matthew says he has a turtleneck, and I bet he rocks that thing.
And I
don't
have
think
no
I've
shame,
worn it
so I
in
will try
at
it.
least a decade though. Like I'm pretty sure it's like just an old turtleneck that I just never got rid of. Probably
It
somewhere
probably
in my
still
closet.
fits though. So I mean, there's that. All right, we're gonna take a break. When we come back, no, good for you. We're gonna take a break. When we come back, we are going to talk some video games. You listen to the Upstate Pulse right here on 106.3 WRD. That's a brand name, by the way.
So here's
That's what you know. It's
I
a
know,
brand name.
I know.
Like Carhartt.
All right, so here's my pitch. Matthew and I dress in turtlenecks. We approach people and we start randomly dancing to German EDM music.
No,
See, you
I'm
just
not
want to
doing
wear a
that.
turtleneck
Okay.
to work and see if anyone says anything to you. I know that's what you want to do.
Thinking about it.
You should.
I don't. Well,
now Chris Evans, he could rock a turtleneck.
you think Chris
He would-
Evans?
no, he would look good in a turtleneck.
he probably would. It's either that or lightning strikes.
Hey, Chris, maybe you'd want to join the show since Rob isn't. Okay. Thank you. Probably won't by the time he gets in here. I mean, we only got a half hour left. We don't need anybody.
We're fine.
We're rocking.
Again, I apologize, Matthew. You could have just stayed in here.
It's whatever.
The natural order has been disrupted for no reason.
The natural.
It's not fine. It's not fine. I'm angry, but
What is he doing in there?
I'm gonna try to not let it affect me the rest of the night, but I can't promise.
Let's calm down.
No, I can't promise. I can't.
Let's not kill the town.
Yeah, well, when you build something around something and then
Look, I have our get out of Dodge on me. So I recently stole that.
I wasn't sure if that was a thing coming back to us or if that was part of an ad. 'Cause that sounded exactly like something I would expect to be an intro to
all right, how many
us.
breaks are left? 1 or 2?
One, right?
So I say I haven't heard the entire cycle, so
One after this one.
All right, so
Christmas Town already got torched last year. They've rebuilt. Only half of the elves got, thinged. They're making good recovery. They're training up now after 2 catastrophes. Watch the 2 previous Christmas specials to see what I'm talking about.
No.
So what color was your turtleneck?
Green.
I don't know. I just feel like I remember having. It's one of those.
Okay,
I think
okay.
I remember
All right.
having one, but I could totally be wrong. If I had one, it was probably like navy black or.
Are we talking
gray and green or
Schrodinger's
something.
turtleneck?
Probably.
I might have had a turtleneck when I was a little kid, but I was wearing plaid bell bottoms while wearing the turtleneck. So I probably look pretty hip.
The 80s were a wild time. Or
Let's come back
70s.
with game and whatnot.
It's all right. It's all right. Well, get some music in there and just kill the game intro, and we'll just talk games. Welcome back into the Upstate Pulse. Having a blast on a Saturday night. By the way, if you want to text the show at 71307, we completely forgot to check the text line for this entire time. Part of it is because Tim doesn't have his glasses. And by the way, if you have a chance to text us at 71307, please make it lengthy and misspell several of the words because once
We got
again,
one of those.
Tim does not have his glasses on.
He didn't turn his mic
Oh,
on.
we got
either.
a bunch.
No.
We got a
Okay.
bunch.
All right. Let's
Hold on.
let's
All
get
right,
to it.
Texas Rights. Even guys, will you be talking about the new NASA Artemis 1 mission launch this week? If it can get us back to the moon, the resources there can be used to create orbital infrastructure for Earth much cheaper in the long run than it would be to launch them from Earth.
Yeah.
And
okay.
that will ultimately make going to Mars a reality, Scott.
Thank you,
Oh,
Scott, for being for keeping it going in the second week. It is pretty cool because my understanding is once we get to the moon again, they want to make it like a launching point to go from there to Mars. So
Exactly,
yeah.
because of a few different reasons, that being mostly the gravitational and atmospheric differences of the moon compared to the Earth make it so much easier and thus cheaper to launch things from the moon to go anywhere else in space than it is from the surface of the Earth.
The thing is, once we get to the moon, there's already kind of a race on. There are going to be other countries trying to get up to the moon,
Oh yeah,
and we have a war on the moon.
the
Moon Wars.
Yes.
Yeah, I actually said that earlier this week.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a possibility. China wants to get up there. You know, Russia does too. So you don't want to risk international incident, but if it happens in space, who's going to know? Some guy like in Nevada with a really long telescope goes, "They're fighting up there." He moved there from here
In
because,
space, you
know,
can't
Yeah,
see
but you
them
wouldn't
break
be
the
able to see
Geneva
the dark.
Convention.
You wouldn't be able to see the dark
Oh,
side of the moon.
well, they're not going to fight on the dark side. You're going to be fighting on the side where you can see.
Oh, we got night vision.
So it's Call of Duty up there on the moon.
Wouldn't that be dope though?
No, 'cause
actually,
there's
I
no-
think there was a moon
there's-
map at one point.
There's no gravity. We played several games with Mass Effect has a
Oh, it was
has a thing
zombies.
on
Zombies on the moon. I think
There
it
was a
Zombies
moon
on
map
the
in
moon?
Overwatch.
Yeah, I could be wrong though.
zombies on the moon.
Yeah,
Okay.
That sounds like a song.
no,
How-
in Call of Duty.
No. But how do the zombies stay on the moon?
I don't know.
How do they just not go to ramble and then they just fly off?
Look,
into
I'm gonna tell you
space?
exactly how it happened. Okay, so what happened was there was a bunch of nerds that created a video game and they just put that in the video game.
This has been game development with with T2.
That's how it works, man.
All right. So, like with anything, there has to be a little bit of logic that goes along with it. Yeah, it's a video game, and it's
I can't
it's
remember
not
I was
real,
just kidding.
but-
I was just kidding. But I can't remember the actual story of how they got onto the moon. But it was back in the 1940s. I think it was the original Black Ops that had it. I can't remember. I don't know. I know that there was a moon map. I just can't remember exactly if it was zombies or if it wasn't. Anyways, let's continue with the text line here. All right. Texter writes. Well, I don't know if I can read that one. Okay. Texter writes. I was at an
Crap.
Aerosmith show. They threw a book of firecrackers on stage. Ooh.
Really? Which show was it?
It just says I was at the Aerosmith show.
Oh, Aerosmith. I
Yeah.
didn't hear the Aerosmith part. My fault.
Text writes, one of you guys have got to say in a British accent, they hit me right on they hit me right in my bullocks. I don't know if I can say that right.
Yeah.
And by the way, there ain't nothing wrong with Nickelback. Oh God.
There isn't. I mean, Nickelback had a bunch of hits. It's like when Hootie and the Blowfish, when people decided to not like them, it's not cool to like them. There's been a lot of bands
It's
that
like when they decided to hate
I'm gonna
this
tell you.
guy.
I'm gonna tell you when Nickelback decided to not be cool was when they talked trash to Corey Taylor. That's when they decided. Not
yeah,
to be
I think
cool.
more people know who Nickelback are than they do Corey Taylor.
Yeah, but it's still better music though.
Okay, but again, more people know.
Anyways, Nickelback. Ugh. Anyways, all right. So text writes, guys, I had a dark purple turtleneck that I wore with red and black plaid. I think that's plaid. Yeah, black plaid baggies and red stacks. But then again, you have to remember that was 1973.
Gee,
I'm
I wonder who that
65
was.
years old now. Laugh out loud, Jim and Easley.
Hey, it sounds pretty cool to me, Jim, because I was around back then. So these guys were not. So they don't know how cool that actually is.
Well, this is true. The band The Monkees always wore turtlenecks. That's true. Text writes, circling an alien flying saucer.
Could very
Could
well
be.
be. It could be something buried beneath the ground, like the movie The Thing.
You know what? That actually happens more often than not during like paranormal investigations, where they'll use like infrared cameras and they'll find something under the ground.
Okay, so you just went totally against everything you were saying like 20 minutes ago.
But I mean, I didn't think about that. But now that you say that, I mean, yeah, that could be possible.
I didn't say it. The texters did.
That's who I meant when I said what I said.
All right, we have any more
All
texts?
right. Yes, we have a couple more. Text writes, guys, I thought dogs always herded sheep into a circle. Thank you.
Not that I'm aware
Thank
of.
you.
No. This is an exact circle with
Yeah, but you
something in the
can't-
middle. It's not what you're thinking of as far as them being herding. Do we have any more texts?
Yes, one more. Text writes, you guys are like the Big Bang Theory of 2022. Thank you.
Yeah, that's no.
Eh.
That show is not that.
You don't like Big Bang Theory?
No.
Oh,
No.
we're
I
actually
hate it
nerds.
honestly.
Yeah, it's not. It's. Yeah, I can't. I don't think I've watched an entire episode because I'm just completely offended. And I think most people are who.
I thought
Or in that
I thought
lifestyle.
some things were funny on there.
All right,
Just some things.
find Nerd Roundtable and hit that intro so we can get into the roundtable because this is a perfect transition.
Why are you messing with the fantasy? We know about the reality. Don't ruin the fantasy, okay?
The Upstate Pulse presents the Nerd Roundtable.
Allow me to elaborate.
Because the guys from your high school debate team need to lay the smackdown.
Are you familiar with the Drake equation?
The one that estimates the odds of making contact with extraterrestrials by calculating the product of an increasingly restrictive series of fractional values, such as those stars with planets, and those planets likely to develop life. N equals R times FP times NE times FL times FI times FC times L.
Yeah, that one.
You might want to get out your tape recorder, because it's going to be a historical moment.
All right, time for Nerd Roundtable. We'll talk some video games in this. Also, we're going to get to Matthew in a second. But the first thing I want to talk about is we were just talking about, nerds being nerdy, that type of thing. I was over on the dark side yesterday talking to LexCorp and was asked to give the nerd perspective on something.
Were you asked specifically to do so?
Yes.
Oh dear.
That's always slightly demeaning.
And I was offended. And he's like, "Yeah, but you call yourself a nerd." And I was like, "Yeah, it's true, but
It's a joke.
yeah, but I don't want you calling me that because when the coolest guy in
Talk
the
about it's a term of endearment.
when the coolest guy in the building calls you a nerd, it makes you feel like you felt like when you were back in high school. It does. And he is the coolest guy in the building. So when he calls you that, and then I gave him my perspective and we went with it. But still, it bothered me. It just, and it shouldn't have. It shouldn't have. You're right. I've been on this show for 8 years, embracing it and talking about it. But it's like it's one thing to call yourself something, but to hear someone else who you think is like so cool, it's just, say it. And it's like, oh, that hurt. And it shouldn't have. So I don't know. I need some psychoanalysis from everyone but Tim. And especially the listeners, text line 71307. But I mean, you and Matthew can analyze me. He can't.
I think it's one of those things if you should just roll with it.
Yeah.
Because the other thing with LexCorp is I think it's just him honestly just trying to get your opinion.
No, it's not about him saying it.
Or are you just saying it in general?
It's not about him saying it. It's about the fact that it bothered me. That's what I'm saying. I mean, he can say whatever he wants. That's fine.
Does it annoy you that it bothered you? Or are you just trying to figure out why?
It hurt a little. And should it hurt? If you call yourself something and someone says that to you, should it hurt you?
No, because you're inviting that to a degree.
Exactly. So I'm trying to figure out why it hurt me. And I think it's because there's a level of cool. And I think that I'm on that level. And then you find out
the question is,
can you be cool and can you be a nerd at the same time?
I think you can.
Matthew, can you be cool and be a nerd at the same time?
Absolutely. Just like I apparently can be skinny, but be called fat at the same time once.
It's a matter of perspective.
Was it from a drunk girl named Madison?
If there's
No, it was from somebody in this building, not currently in this building.
Okay. So if it was someone who's thinner than you, I guess I
No,
get it.
I
Okay.
don't. Well, I don't know.
Oh, okay. All right.
See that now that's a mystery. I want to know.
Yeah.
Tim thinks he's being punished. He's not. I'm just leaving him out of the conversation because he's too cool to be part of this conversation.
No, that's not true.
Yes, you are. You're too
That's
cool to
not
be
true.
part of this
And I don't
conversation.
think
You're a DJ.
I was waiting for him to finish. No. Okay. So like, I don't think that you should feel bad about being called a nerd by anybody. Why? Because it's who you are. It's how you present yourself. And if that's who you are, you should own that.
But see, that's the thing. I do. I think it just bothered me because of who it came from.
Well,
text line 71307. I know that we have a large amount of people who psychoanalyze for a living listening to the show. And yes, I would like a freebie.
Yeah.
Any of you therapists out there?
Just a sentence or two.
Yeah, that's all I need. Just a sentence or two. Let's see. Key says nerds are the new cool information collector. Dude, I still think that's an awesome.
The best name on the entire
Yes,
thing.
you can be cool and be a nerd at the same time. We are living proof. Yes, we are. And,
See, I think everybody has a nerd somewhere inside.
Yeah, me too.
Because everybody has a fandom.
But see, it's not about that. It's more about why am I hurt by it? Just a little bit. Not a lot, but it just, to the point where I didn't say anything, but I winced. And he saw me wince.
Do you feel like it offends your the cool side?
I'm not positive I have one of those. Everyone thinks they're cool in their own way. Until someone calls them a nerd, and then they're like, wait a minute. I know I call myself.
I think you just had a moment of second guessing yourself.
I know what you're saying because I think we've all been there, but like, I don't know. I don't feel like that anymore. When somebody calls me a nerd or something, whether they're being serious or not, I'm just like, yeah, so I am a nerd.
Well, people are not just one thing. People are an amalgamation of so many different aspects. Because you can be the smart guy and also be into sports.
Right.
You can be in several different fields, including being nerdy about fictional stuff and also being a history buff.
Right. And that's what I was saying earlier.
There's so many avenues.
Because there's so many different fandoms out there that people like deep dive into. Like, there's fantasy football that's all about stats and all that stuff. Like, that's a form of being a nerd.
Father, I believe you felt a slight emotion.
I did. That was a problem. And I should
you don't get those very often, but
I don't. All right. So Let's talk some video games. Let's talk about something positive. Let's talk about what Matthew is doing right now, probably as we speak, because we can't see him.
No, I'm not playing it right now,
can't
but
see
I do
his
have it
hands.
next to me right now.
He could
My
be in
hands
this
are up.
room, but people who are supposed to be in here didn't decide to come back in here. So
Now I am playing it every time I step in during our breaks.
So
But
what
I've
are
been
you playing?
Pokemon Scarlet because the new generation of Pokemon just hit Thursday night, Friday, and it's been getting some mixed reception as to be expected from Pokemon. It's a pretty controversial series if you're familiar as far as the game quality. And I will say this was Pokemon's first outing into open world design, and they did a pretty good job for the most part. I've been enjoying it. I'm 3 badges in so far. I'm really liking it. I'm having a fun time for the first. I absolutely despise the last generation. It was absolutely unfun. The games were just unbelievably easy and boring, and it was a bunch of straight line paths. It was not fun at all. And this one has reignited my interest in Pokemon again, and I'm actually considering wanting to try and get into competitive Pokemon this generation.
Oh, look out. Look out.
Yeah.
Representing. So when you say open world for this game, how big is the map?
It's not massive, but it's pretty solidly sized. Like there's a lot of exploration to be had. It's not as big as something like Skyrim, I would say, but it's pretty solid for a Pokemon game.
All right. So is there a storyline, or is it just you going out trying to get badges?
There is a story to it, but I mean, I've never met a Pokemon game that had a story that really mattered.
It's
there
all
you
about
go.
the badges.
So how would you rate this for someone who is thinking about getting this game for their kids or for their friends or their family?
For your kids, absolutely. I mean, it's Pokemon at the end of the day. It shakes up the formula a little bit, but it's still Pokemon at the end of the day. You're going to have a fun time with it if you like Pokemon. If you don't like Pokemon, you're not going to have a fun time with it. I will say the biggest issues that I've seen personally have been the performance issues and the graphical fidelity. The graphics are disgustingly ugly, horrible textures. The aliasing is god awful. It's unavoidable, and there is stuttering constantly, even when it's in docked mode. It's really unfortunate, but I mean, it's kind of what I expect with Pokemon and Game Freak.
All right, Information Collector says the map for Pokemon Scarlet has been compared to Spain.
That's because it is this generation of Pokemon is inspired by Spain and Southern Europe. Yeah.
All right, so who's your main Pokemon?
Well, my favorite Pokemon of all time is Blaziken, but from this generation, if you're talking about the starter that I picked.
No, I mean, what are you winning with? Is what I want to know. You said you got 3 badges.
Oh, well, I mean, I catch literally everything that I can. I want to try and complete the Pokedex this generation.
So you are out to catch them all.
I am, but I also, like I said, I want to get into competitive this generation, so I need to catch a lot of stuff because I don't know what I'm going to use yet, and I don't know how the meta is going to evolve or anything like that. So I need to fill it out so that I can put together whatever I need to put together.
All right, so to be competitive with this, how do you do that?
So competitive Pokemon is kind of really interesting. I wanted to get into it because I've over the past few years been exposed to competitive Pokemon through social media and YouTube and stuff like that. And so Game Freak and Nintendo have an official Pokemon competitive circuit. The World Tournament happened like a month or 2 ago. But there's competitives for the mainline games, the TCG, the trading card game, and even for Pokemon Go, apparently, which I don't know how that works, but apparently that exists. But in the mainline games, the main competitive Pokemon, it's 1v1s with double battles is the main format. So you bring in your team of 6 and you'll play usually a best 2 out of 3, best 3 out of 5 in the later rounds. But you'll pick 4 of those 6 Pokemon to bring in with you, 2 starting and 2 in the back. And that's the format that it goes with. And it's pretty interesting.
That sounds really cool. That makes me want to get it.
It is really fun.
But if I get it from my Switch Lite, I won't be able to see it because my eyes are going bad and it's too small.
It's unfortunate.
I can get one of those old man glasses, those thick ones that you put on the end of your nose. I'll give some of those. All right. You are listening to the Upstate Pulse. Lightning round is coming up.
Texter says that you're cooler than the guy who said it.
No, I'm not.
That's why they read it.
No, I'm not.
Also, how does everybody feel about the new iPhone update? Because
I haven't updated yet.
Me either.
I haven't updated my.
Oh, you guys haven't?
I haven't had time to.
The clock just looks so weird to me.
I don't normally update my iPhone until it forces me to.
It looks like when you see time on the screen of a movie, like they're saying
Chocolate cake.
8:51 p.m. That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
It seems like that kind of thing. Keith, mail us the cake.
Don't mail us the cake.
Mail us the cake. All right, mail Dad the cake. Make it squishy.
I got lightning round.
Experience for yourself. We have gone to a whole new level.
Give it yourself.
On Facebook and Instagram, proud sponsors of the Upstate Pulse, Borderlands Comics and Games.
Shall be something I deal with afterwards.
He's announcing this emergency climate whatever thing. You know what? I'm gonna get a bunch of styrofoam and just throw trash out my car window. That's how I'm at that point. I'm at that. Why? Why is that like looked at like it's a moral thing?
That's actually a good point. What if there's sheepdog in there? It could be.
I can cry too, you know.
Trying the dog to walk in a circle.
So I can't say, but I mean.
Yeah, I don't see a dog in there, but I mean, you can slow it
The thing
down.
about sheepdog is that they look like sheep.
They don't look like sheep. They look
Yeah,
like
they do.
sheep dogs.
They would blend into that pretty well.
Then I just kind of feel that we should be able to have this.
I don't know. You might be right because most of them have gray on them.
Are you kidding me? Gas prices are up again. Somebody has to do something. Well, someone did. That's why I use Upside. Upside. What's that? It's a free app that pays you back real money for every gallon of gas or diesel you buy. I just earned 25 cents back on every gallon of this tank. Hold on. So the Upside app
Must be so hot to be a sheepdog. Could not live with that much fur.
Awesome. Check it out. It only takes a couple of minutes to sign up. Instead of just watching your dollar.
Might not be a bad thing if you live in a cold climate, though.
True.
With the free app from Upside. With the price of gas today, it's big news and big money. To cash out of your Upside cash, just transfer it to your bank account, PayPal, or a gift card. Upside users have already earned over $200 million. Now it's your turn. Download the free Upside app and get cash back on every gallon of gas. Use promo code HUGE for an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first fill up. That's code HUGE. Use code HUGE for an extra 25 cents per gallon back in your first fill up. Cashback's not available in Gas, New Jersey, Wisconsin. Some people bring joy wherever they go.
Come back, Matthew.
Okay.
Never argue with a fool. Onlooker may not be able to tell the difference.
Lightning can only strike twice so many times.
All right, time for lightning round where we try to squeeze in as many things as we possibly can. Microsoft has trademarked the uppercase P. So if you're using the uppercase P in anything, you will owe Microsoft money because they have trademarked it. So according to the article, if your name happens to be Paul, Penny, or any other P name, you might want to be careful how you write it out from this point forward or risk being sued by Microsoft. The tech giant has obtained a trademark on an uppercase letter P, which it plans to use for visualizing, animating, transforming, presenting, and sharing data and other information. According to the company's trademark paperwork, Microsoft describes the trademark letter as a geometric design in the shape of an uppercase P in gradient shades from green to blue, the trademark paperwork reveals. So Microsoft owns the letter P.
What?
They just own it.
They own the letter P. That's right.
So they could sue. That's crazy. They could sue you for writing a letter if your name is Paul.
That's probably not going to happen.
They're
I
probably
think-
using it for
But they could, though.
project.
It sounds
No.
like it's specifically a logo that uses a P-like design, but yeah, it's basically trademarking a letter. It sounds
Yeah.
like, which is kind of stupid.
Yeah, and the story says, I wonder what PlayStation has to say about that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Letter P has been trademarked. All right, the FDA, you guys are going to be excited about this, has cleared lab-grown meat for human consumption. You want some lab-grown meat, Tim?
Sure.
Cameron,
I guess.
Cameron, lab-grown meat.
Empty out that test tube. I'm awfully hungry.
All right, Matthew.
As long as it's good.
Really? So you guys are all down for eating some lab-grown meat?
Like, I mean, is
Sure.
it genetically engineered or is it cloned?
All I can think of is Soylent Green. But so for the first time in history, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration has given its stamp of approval to meat that was grown in a lab.
Okay, never mind. No, I don't trust the FDA.
Upside Foods, a California-based company that produces meat from cultured chicken cells, has been given the go-ahead to start selling its products to consumers just as soon as the Department of Agriculture inspects its facilities, the FDA has revealed. This is how they're going to get rid of cows, people. They're going to
Okay, yeah,
manufacture meat. That's what
See?
they're going to do. They're going to say it has to do with climate change. Before you know it, it's Soylent Green. And I don't know if you knew this, but Soylent Green is people.
Old alphabet boys.
All right.
Nope, not me. Don't trust it.
The famous Goonies house in Astoria is up for sale. So if you've watched the movie Goonies, the house where Brand and the boys were, where Data crashed through the door, is for sale, and it's $1.65 million. So if you guys are interested in that, there you go. Warner Brothers CEO has said there's not going to be 4 Batmans. And he says Batmans.
Why not just say Batman's?
There's not going to be 4 Batmans. There's only going to be one of them Batmans. So
Wait,
we
did
don't
you
know.
say Batman and just leave? Could it still sound plural that way?
Yeah, he should. He could have said Batman
Or Batman.
but he said Batmans. There's only going to be. There's not going to be 4 Batmans. So who's going to be Batman? The rumor is it's going
I'll
to
be Batman.
It's going to be the Batman.
I'm Batman.
Yeah, it's not gonna. It's going to be Pattinson probably. It's not going to be anybody else. But we'll see. We're still waiting to see Keaton. We're going to see him in the Flash.
Oh yeah.
So far,
Unless
the movie's still
Ezra
going to
does
happen.
something else stupid.
So far, he came back and did reshoots and a bunch of things like that. So it probably will happen. All right, the Game Awards for Game of the Year nominations are out, and they are A Plague Tale: Requiem, Elden Ring, God of War: Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Stray, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I predict Stray will win because it's about kitty cats, or God of War will
I
win.
want to see Xenoblade win.
I
As a
want Elden
Xenoblade
Ring
fan,
to
I
win.
want to see Xenoblade
I want
win.
Elden Ring to win also. Also, the Grammy Awards are going to have best score or soundtrack of a video game this year.
Yeah.
So the nominations out. I don't have time. I just have time to tell you that we are going to be live on our streams on the Upstate Pulse. So check those out around 9:30, doing live Dungeons and Dragons tonight. I want to thank everybody who was a part of the show. Thanks for the text. Thanks for the stream stuff and everything. And have a great weekend and have a great Thanksgiving. And we will talk to you next week in about 30 minutes on D&D.
That was a fail.
Now let's see if I can do this without not being mad, but I am, as you know, very mad right now. So, but I'll do my best to keep it in check. I built the entire show around someone and they don't come in here.
Well, let's at least exit off of the stream.
No, I want it to be on the stream because I want everyone to know that I'm angry. Yeah, enjoy your lab-grown turkey. Say goodbye, Tim.
Goodbye, Tim.
All right, say goodbye, Cameron.
Bye-bye.
Wave, Matthew. See everybody in about 30 minutes, where I'm just going to destroy everything in my path on Dungeons and Dragons. People are not going to be happy about it.
I'm just along for the ride.